it in their heads. But we decided on that one. And we also decided not to do the second part of that, right? From Woodstock. What does that spell?
Yeah, that one.
And now go ahead and make an introduction here, but
I will make an introduction
I will
here.
bow out for a moment or two.
So, you might wonder who she is and what she's doing here. So, I'm going to give a pictorial explanation when I get pictures in. So, Maeve's, Carrie and I lived in Scotland from 1990 to 1992, and we lived next door to Maeve's family. And her father and I, and this is her dad, and Carrie, we all became really good friends over the years. And the funny part of the story was I arrived in Scotland, actually I should do it from here because that'll be on the video. So I arrived in Scotland back in 1990, and I was working, and Carrie was still in Boston. We were living in Boston at the time. And the movers were very casual about things, and they didn't let me know when they were going to bring our stuff. And they brought the stuff while I was at work. And this moving guy came to her house and told her mom, Karen, that he had a few boxes to deliver to our house and would be okay if he put them in their house. And she thought it was like a few was like 5 boxes. No, it was like 30 or 40 boxes. They were stacked up this high in their hallway. And I come home and she's posted a note through our mailbox saying there's been a delivery for you at our house, or something very innocuous. And I totally panicked because I knew exactly what this was. And I go in there, knock on the door, and her whole front hall is filled with boxes. Do you remember that? Yes. So it was kind of crazy. So since then, we've all been very good friends. Unfortunately, while we were in Armenia, we found out through Facebook that, let's see if I can do this, that Maeve's father, Alan, had passed away. And that was about a year and a half ago. And while we were in Armenia, which is where Carrie's mother's family comes from, and so we actually asked the tour group to say a prayer. We were visiting monasteries, to say a prayer for him and light candles for him, because we explained that he'd been with Doctors Without Borders and things like that. And everyone was really quite touched by everything. So it happened that Maeve was performing last night at the Norris Theater in Palos Verdes. We saw her last night. It was a wonderful performance. And like Mike, she's crazy enough to accede to perform here for you guys. So Maeve Mackinnon, and then later Maeve and Mike are going to do a couple of numbers. And I'll explain those numbers. I'll let her do this. Oh, and I'll move to the next slide. Oh.
We're not.
Stop. Which is one of the things that we got involved with. Fitting with their previous thing was in the first Gulf War. That's Carrie and I in the Glasgow Herald newspaper at a Gulf War protest.
Your mom's
Organized. Oh yeah, her mom is somewhere hidden by a sign somewhere. Organized by her father, who was one of the organizers of this back in those days. This is the original George Bush War. So, or the original George Bush's father, right, war. And so there we were back in those days, 1990. What? Yeah, I will.
Well, I'm very honoured to be here, and I didn't know Joe's brother or his father. I didn't get the chance to meet either of them, but I just heard so many fantastic accounts, and obviously fabulous slideshow. So I'm going to do a couple of songs. I'm going to sing a song for you first in Gaelic, which is the language that I mainly sing in. And Gaelic, for those of you who don't know, is the kind of indigenous language in Scotland. So I'm going to sing a little. It's actually, it might be quite fitting. It's a song, an emigrant song called Horo Iollaraigh, and it's it's in praise of this beautiful island off the west coast of Scotland. It was obviously written by somebody who had emigrated against their will. So this is Horo Iollaraigh, and I'd like to dedicate this to Angelo and to Charles. So. The shiar havash, the shiar havash, the shiar havash, vain je Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Banashad Fiarnaigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Bana Thrugaronai, Murana Valai. Thrugaronai, Murana Valai. Thrugaronai, Murana Valai. Satavuam Dreamudu, Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Banashad Fiarnaigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Bana Mo fia noch keen, doch hier in de lochan, doch hier samrud, nunne kosan. Doch hier en I is barsje molde, doch hier de moogrij, voor een tabin zonne. Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Banashad Fiarnaigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh, Iollaraigh. Horo Iollaraigh, Bana Cemtrud.